Hi everyone. So in this video we will learn how to insert the data into a table. So in this case we are just going to write a SQL query to insert the data into a table. So let's just start by defining the structure of the table over here. Assume that you have been given the employee data table with the following columns. Employee ID, which is a unique identifier for each employee. First name is the first name of the employee. Last name is the last name of the employee. Department is the department where the employee works. And salary is the employee salary. And the hire date is nothing but the date when the employee was hired. Now let's just take a look at the data type of each of these columns. The employee ID belongs to the integer data type. First name belongs to the varchar data type. Similarly, last name belongs to the varchar data type. Also, the department belongs to varchar. Now, the salary belongs to, let's assume it the integer data type, or we can also make it the decimal data type. Coming to the hire date, it belongs to the date data type. So let's just write a SQL query to insert this table in MySQL Workbench. So guys, this is the interface of MySQL Workbench. Let's now write a SQL query to insert the table here. So let's first create the table using create table statement. So I'm just going to create my table first of all. So create table, and here I'm just going to write my table name, which is the table name is employees, and I'm just opening my bracket here. Now open bracket, I will write my column names. So the first column was employee ID, and now I will just define its data type, which is the integer, and this is the primary key. Now the second one is first name. So the first name having the data type varchar, and I'm just defining its limit to be the maximum characters to be 50, comma. The third one is last name. The third one is last name. Again, its data type is varchar. The maximum limit of the character is 50. Now it is department, which is my next column name, having the data type again varchar, having 50. Now salary, which will be the data type. I'm just keeping it as the decimal, or you can just keep it as integer also. So let's just keep this integer only. Next, hire date, which is in the date data type. So I'm just closing it. Now the next step is to insert. Now the next step is to insert the data into the employees table. And to do that, I'm going to just use insert into statement. Insert into. And here I'm just going to write my table name, employees. And here I'm just going to write all the columns that I just defined, because I want to insert the data into these columns. Employees, employee ID, first name, then last name, and then comes department, then comes salary, then comes hire date. Now I'm just going to insert the values over here. So I'm just writing values, and in the bracket I'm just going to write all my values. So the employee ID 101, then writing the first name, that is John, comma, let's just write its last name as mentioned in the table, Doe. Next department, let's just call the department to be sales. Then it comes out to be the salary. Let's say it is 55,000, which is integer. And I'm just going to write hire date as 2023-02-15. So this is how I'm just going to insert my values over here. Again, it is going to be 102, then it is chain, comma, the next one, Smith, this is the last name, comma, the department name was IT, comma, now comes to the salary, let's say it is 75,000 as mentioned in the table, and this is the hire date, 11-23. Now I'm just closing this with the comma. Now this is the last row that I have. Since I have 3 rows in my table, so I'm just going to write the values of all the 3 rows here. 103 Mike, sorry guys. So this will be Mike, comma, Johnson, comma, the department name is HR, comma, and the salary is 62,000. Now the hire date is 2021 dash 08 dash 05. So if I just do this and semicolon, so if I just run my table, complete table, so you can see that this is successfully compiled. Now I'll just extract my all the rows from my employees table that I just created. So it is going to be, so it's just going to display all the records of this table over here. So guys, as you can see, we have successfully written a SQL query to insert the table data, and you can see that the table has been displayed over here. Now there are a few things, key points that you must need to know. So these key points are, first of all, the data values in the values clause should match the data types defined in the employees table. So the data values, just a second. Okay guys, so here the data values that we just mentioned over here. So these values should match with the data types that we just wrote over here. So for example, the employee ID values are integers. First name and last name values are strings. So the data type is varchar. Salary is integer. And here the hire date values are dates. So they must be formatted as it is, as mentioned with the data types. Also, the second thing to note that is the employee ID column is the primary key. So each employee ID must be unique. Since we have defined it to be primary key, that means in this case, the employee ID shouldn't be same. So if you try to insert duplicate employee ID values, the query will actually fail. So that's all about inserting the data into a table using MySQL Workbench. Also, there is one more method to do that. So first of all, just right click on this and you can directly import your table from here. So if you just right click on the tables over here, just go on table data import wizard and just need to browse, and here from here you can directly, let's say I just want to insert my sectors table. So if I just do this and I'm just going to apply next and then again next. So if you just want to give the table name as sectors, just keep it as sectors here. And since it already exists, so I'm just going to drop it just next and just keep going with the next, and it will already create. So as you can see that sectors table has been created. So this is another method to do it it in the more easier way, but make sure that your file type should be CSV when you just when you're just importing it. So that's how you can just insert your data into a table. So that's all about this video, guys. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you. Thank you for watching.